Hey everybody, this is Alzorath, and welcome to the Strangelands server, and I am currently hearing an anvil fall. Now, this is because I was recently pranked, and actually I came in here and I fixed it for the purpose so you could actually hear what's intended to be from this. Unfortunately, whenever I originally came looking for it, which I was recording during, the trap was broke. If you unload this chunk, unfortunately, the clock, this particular clock design breaks, and therefore this stopped moving. It was stuck in an upward position. But it is a present from Brian Lorgon 111, and I greatly appreciate the slime block. He wasn't quite aware of the fact that I intend to be using a lot of these little guys. Not the anvil, the slime block I just broke. Because I have plans for a rather large redstone build when the 1.8 patch comes out, and I'll be covering more of that at the end of the video. But I have a feeling I know what most of you are particularly waiting for, and thank you for the redstone as well. I will be using a ton of that, and I'm definitely going to take these signs as well because I will need them. I'm actually kind of low on them. As for this hole, I'll turn it into something. But yeah, it was broken and I didn't hear it, and I had to actually go check out Lorgon 111's video so I could figure out what was going on with it. So it would have been hell to find if I hadn't had to do that, though. So, because even with that noise, you kind of have to echolocate down to it, and I probably would have dug out most of this. I still need to, because I'm going to turn this into an extra area. It's going to be a landing area for this tunnel down here, which I don't think I've explained. This is actually going to be going to my chunk error place, but I've been going through, clearing out caves, stuff like that. Nothing too interesting, just digging holes. But let's go ahead and go back up to the surface, and I will keep you guys from waiting too much longer to find out the numbers for the contest. I have already sent out the private messages for those of you that have won, so hope you enjoy the games. You'll need to reply to the message I sent you with a link. Well, just give me your email basically through the private message system. You get to that by going through the video manager link in the top right of your screen. It should be either by clicking on a profile or on clicking on the little cog symbol to go to your dashboard. Should be an easy way to get to your inbox. Left side community. There we go. I've had some people mention that they have trouble finding that. But as you can see, I'm wandering in front of the signs that say how many quartz, coal, redstone. I have redstone twice because I was writing the signs separately and looking at this one. There's only 1,333 redstone, not 2,666, unfortunately. I would greatly appreciate that much more redstone, but we also have 59 diamond and 8 emerald, and the prizes have been sent to their winners, and yeah, should check your inbox so you can get those. I think most people, I think there's only 2 that haven't responded to the private messages yet, but I just recently sent them yesterday, so yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and I will be doing more giveaways in the future. Probably not quite as big until next winter, and I probably shouldn't break that with my good pick. Boop, there we go. But we will do more contests like that. I'll try different formats and the like. Now, I'm not going to be doing too much here. I have done a little bit of work on the mob grinder. I've done some work on the path to the town. I'm actually going to connect my base via a road to the main road in town, as well as via the underground passageway here. I like having lots of avenues to get places, and if it's dark out, going underground is a lot safer. And going through the lovely nether is not quite the best option. As far as things I'm working on, this is a temporary layout of this room. I'm basically getting a bunch of trees from it, but I'm eventually going to turn this into sort of my little home. I'm going to have a waterfall coming out of this section right here into a small pond, and I'm going to have basically a little house underground right here that I'm going to put my bed in, so it's no longer in the little hub area of my underground base. As far as underground, I have found a few more spawners. Thankfully, one of them is a zombie spawner, so I will be able to eventually populate the cities I'm going to build above ground. Now, That said, above ground right here, I'm going to be doing some special plans. It's no longer going to be just a tower. In fact, most of it is not going to be a tower. And you'll see why I'm extremely grateful for the slime block whenever we get to my creative world in just a minute. Let's go ahead and hop up here. But what I'm going to end up doing is having a very large structure fill in this space right here and possibly even rise up out of the ground and spiral up. I'm going to have to consider how I want the outside of it to look, but I'm going to be doing a lot of redstoning and a lot of different levers and buttons and pathways for the redstone, as well as incorporating my old mines into being a sort of control room for all of this, which is going to be going in here. This was my old mining area that I haven't really showed off too much of. This was where I grew wheat, and that was the mine shaft that I fell down a lot, and that was my old enchanting table. But this will get use again due to this new project. That said, let's go ahead and jump over to my creative world, and I'll show you what I am planning. Aw, he died. And here we are in my creative world, and this is what I'm planning on doing. Or essentially a small little view of it. Essentially, it's a design by Mumbo Jumbo for a door, modified a little bit for my own purposes. His was a 2x2 door that wasn't entirely flush, but it did look pretty neat, and I'll include a link to his video down in the description and possibly even in an annotation. But you press this button, it pushes him up, and it stays up. You push this button and it pulls it down. Now you may be thinking, oh, you're just gonna put a door there? No. I'm going to be putting a lot of doors there. This is basically a maze design that is morphic. I'm going to go ahead and drop all of these down so we can walk through it without much of a problem. But as you can see, lots of doors, lots of functionality. We're going to go ahead and bring that one down. Let it come down. There is a little bit of cross-contamination of the redstone, but for the most part, it corrects itself. There are a few lower for reasons that I'll explain in just a minute. I think, let's see, is that one's down, that one's down. I think they're all down, so we can kind of go and explore through it. But this is in the 1.8 snapshot with the new slime blocks, which we don't have on the server just yet, but I can still build it and wait for it to come. But it utilizes the functionality of the slime blocks sticking to each other to create a maze that changes shapes. As you can see right now, with all the doors open, well, there's nowhere that I can't go, and I even have all the stairs up in place so you can get moving around. But if we hop down here, and let's go ahead and we'll close off this one over here, boom. That one doesn't always like being used. There's a glitch with the slime blocks still that duplicates certain blocks, but it worked fine that time. Let's go ahead and do that one and that one. The reason I'm doing them relatively slowly is because it lessens the chance of that bug happening. We'll leave that one open. We'll close this one. And we will come over here and use the slime blocks to pull down some stairs. We'll leave the other stairs up, and we will go ahead and use this slightly recessed one, which is basically recessed for the reason of if you have to turn a corner with this design, you want it one further down so you can bend it before you hit the obsidian, because the slime blocks will not move if there is obsidian in the way. And they won't move the obsidian either. But as you can see, with the doors closed, I can't go out those two passageways. I can't go out that passageway or that one, but I can come through this one, and I can come down here until I hit this, but I can't get to what's beyond that. So as you're building mazes, and obviously I can't get up here without flying, see? But you can build mazes with this that essentially can be changed at a whim, and I actually even have additional door mechanisms up here for this. As you can see, it just closes off that one section. If I don't want them going that way, they can't. So what I plan on doing is making a sort of labyrinth structure above my base. I didn't mean to drop all the way through just there. I meant to come over here, I believe. Nope. I need to find which hole I left open. I didn't leave any of these open. There we are. but essentially lets me create a labyrinth that I can change at a whim, and people can have different speed runs through it. They can have different custom layouts. Whenever they come to my base, they can set it up to have challenges. If they don't use explosives or anything or picks, they could have fights and duels in the little labyrinth area, but it does use a lot of slime blocks, so I'm gonna have to build a slime farm for this. And I think it would be a good companion to the principle of my base, which is my in-town base, that is, which is based around eccentric kind of books and oddities and stuff like that, rather than just normal stuff you'd sell in a shop on a server. But I think that's all I really wanted to say about the plans. I will show you how this works, though, real quick. Let's go ahead and go for the one in the ground here, since it's one that I have to mention about that slime pushing off the side there. But what basically is going on here, you have two bud switches. Here, if we hit the button again, you'll watch them go off. Watch this block and this block. You'll see that they are bud switches, and oh, you actually got to see, no, you didn't get to see the little bug, but it pulls it down so that the iron is flushed right there. But those trigger off and keep it so that they switch in the right order to bring it up and down without breaking, which can happen if you don't have the right timing on these. This here and this right here are timed out to 4, which again is for signal timing. And these are for sending the signal along to the proper switches. If you put them too close, like let's say I butted this right up against there, it would cause any kind of system that I put on this pad, to trigger off as well. There are some cross-contaminating ones that I have right here that cause others to trigger off, but they only trigger one block, which means that it won't cause the door to open or close all the way, and a press of the button will switch it back. And what I plan to do is send the signal up via a wiring system from the control room into this block for a short burst, and have the same effect as the buttons. This is just me testing out different combinations of sticky pistons near each other. For example, the stair system, which is just 3 slime blocks connected to 6 stairs. Obviously, you can't put one right here or it'll try to pull the stairs down with it. And you can only have it move up to, I believe it's 12 blocks with slime blocks. Like if you have more than 12 slime blocks connected to each other, it won't move them. Or if you have more than 12 blocks period connected to them, it won't move them. And this piston right here counts towards that as well in the design. So it's rather interesting. I recommend you go check out Mumbo Jumbo's video on the door design, which is what I'm primarily using in this. There are, as you saw, other redstone designs such as the stairs, which uses a little splitter here, and just the single stair over here with that. I may need to come up with some double piston designs to push up single doors, but that's fairly easy to do as well. And I may do a video on that. But I like the 3 wide hallways. I don't know why, I just do. It provides a little bit of a challenge, but I can also make 2 wide doors and even 1 wide doors with this system. Because for a 1 wide door, I would just have this shape right here, which is the most important, and then just have 2 slime blocks up. So it pushes it up twice, which isn't that bad. It's fairly simple to do. These do have a decent footprint, so if I can think up a smaller design, I will, and I will be experimenting with it. But I think as far as this goes, Mumbo Jumbo really does have the smallest kind of switch design for the door, and it has no exposed redstone in the actual labyrinth. So he was both the inspiration for building a labyrinth as well as an inspiration for the design of a door. So you really have to go check out his channel and give him kudos for that if you like this idea. Although the layout of having several different floors and different patterns and stuff is mine. I like actually having this little bit of slime down at the bottom because it tells the player that, hey, this could be a path on another run through, but it's not this time. It can sometimes play mind games with them trying to find their way out. But let's go ahead and go back to the Strangelands server, and I'm going to bring you guys up to date on my progress with the lovely little chunk error that you haven't really seen much of because it tends to get overlooked. So we will be right back. And we're back in Spawn Town, but not quite to the lovely little chunk error just yet. Instead, we are in the post office. Yes, the post office. Because I forgot to mention and show you guys a present I received. Not this. This is just Brian telling me to check my base. I will leave it in there for now. But no, I've got anthrax in my mailbox. Apparently someone's trying to get rid of me for giving them karate chops the other day. And yes, I am the one who has been giving out the little karate chops. I might start sneaking in other things similar to that. For those of you wondering what that's a reference to, there's actually a animated video that talks about like bullying and stuff like that, that I think is really kind of both interesting, cute, and well made, and is worth checking out. But if you don't know about it, ask in the comments below and I'll give you a link to it if you're at all interested. But it's just a little cartoon that kind of stuck with me, and I thought it was kind of witty to make karate chops. I actually do that on several of the servers that I am part of, including the Powered Eureka server. Sorry, had to swallow for a second. Over there, I believe it's Fixer that is making the recreation of To Kill a Mockingbird's courthouse, which is going to be the server courthouse where we'll hold trials and stuff like that. It's still very much under construction, and I think that's a like photography center. Basically, they'll be taking pictures of spawn from there. I forget who's building those. There's actually one over there as well. At least I think that's what it is. I'm not positive. You'd think how much I'm on I'd actually remember. But anyway, we'll avoid spoiling what is actually over there for them to do in their own videos, because there is something very awesome being built just for cosmetic reasons, kind of like my maze, which is going to be just for, well, activity reasons. But a little bit of work has been done on things such as the flower shop. We still have the mules there and Brian's bargains there. I believe this is going to be selling wood. I'm not positive. But it is a tree that I almost chopped down because I came up from it behind. But I was like, wait a minute, this is a little big. But no, it's just got like saplings, bone meal. Thought about bringing some of my excess bone meal here, considering I have a full double chest of it. But no, I don't know what the plan is here. It is Wanderbots, so maybe he'll leave a book in there fairly soon for us to check out. I'm going to check on one thing here before I head over to my base, because I want to see if he has any glowstone. No, he does not. That makes me sad inside. I would definitely like to purchase some glowstone. And now that I have the diamonds to do it, that would be awesome. I would also like to purchase some slime blocks, but no one's selling. We still have like half a day left. This is Grimm's Big Melons. If you look through here, you can see that there's stationary water underneath green glass, which looks kind of neat. I'm not sure whether I would use that in my personal build, but it is an interesting idea. And this is the giant farm for it. We'll see how it works out for him. Personally, I've got plenty of melons, so I probably will not be buying your melons, Grimm. Pretty much everything else is the same. We do have Grimm's house over here, which I haven't shown off yet, I don't think. I might have shown it off in a previous episode, but you can watch his channel to see how it was built, and it is a nice little house. I think it's based on a tutorial design or something like that, though. So I'm not sure if you've seen it elsewhere or not, but Grimm did build it here, and it does kind of fit in with his neighbors, especially because they use a lot of very clean lines through the use of clay. But I'm going to be over here more with the woodsy buildings, which I kind of noticed stay here. It's a little bit of stone and a little bit of wood as our main building materials, but I have been getting a little bit of work done on my chunk error despite things spawning on Pop's roof, which you can see I kind of went a little bit overboard on remedying. If you want me to remove the torches, that's fine. I will put glowstone in your ceiling if I have to. But I have gotten some work done. This I'm still not entirely happy with. I think I'm going to line this with like another layer of stone or something around here. But I have gotten a lot of digging and lighting plans for this, and I'm going to be going bookshelves all the way down. That's the shape and where the beams are going to be. I'm going to have quartz beams up here. I'm going to have these be 2 or 3 tall up into a pavilion kind of design. And I'm torn. Well, it probably helps if I stand not in my stairway. I'm torn between building just like this huge kind of peaked roof like what we have in the Nether that was built by Blitz, in the nether hub. I'm debating whether to build a big peaked roof just out of wood and make a fake ender dragon after we get done beating it, which is going to be spiraling up. It's going to be larger than the ender dragon, but I think I might want to do that, but that's going to require me getting a lot more resources than what I currently have, especially black wool, or spending my diamond picks getting a bunch of obsidian, which I can do. I've actually torn down those towers before in another world. But let's go ahead and down here, and I'll give you a look at what all is going on with this design. But first we gotta eat. Let's go down here. As you can see, I've actually dug down to its full depth right there. That's how low it's gonna go. And I'm gonna be having bookshelves. I think it's 9 bookshelves, stone, pumpkin lighting, stone, 9 bookshelves is the pattern I'm gonna follow all the way down. And you don't want to fall off of there even with feather falling boots. That is death. As far as that road I was mentioning, it's actually going to come in down at the very bottom right here. I'm going to have an entryway there. And another plan that I'm intending to have, I will need even more slime blocks for this, is to have it so people can jump off of this podium and bounce off of slimes into whatever area they want to go to. For example, I could have books on, I believe this is, I am facing east, books on the east side. I could have just horse related or something else on the west side, or just enchantments. And I could have other oddities such as rare blocks and rare drops on the south side. Yes. As far as over here, probably wouldn't do too much, because if you're jumping off of here, you're going to be going those directions, not that way, because, well, there's blockage. Underside of these, I may end up putting stone brick slabs, simply because it makes more sense, but I'm not sure on that one yet. We shall see. That's my construction plans for that. Just a lot of things to cover today, and I feel like I'm going to miss several. As far as other things, I should probably also note that I've noticed that YouTube is getting even weirder about actually getting things out with the subscription boxes, and I need to bring more supplies here. But if you absolutely want to get updates on my latest videos, you really do need to either go through Twitter, which I can guarantee will always have my videos, or I will recommend go to the Facebook in the description down below to subscribe there, where I will check it, and I can't guarantee it'll always work to get the videos out, but I will also be releasing kind of special unlisted videos there as well in the near future to kind of reward subscribers. I think it's kind of appropriate to reward the people who are really dedicated to the channel and the content we're creating. As far as other upcoming things, I'm working on getting more collaborations going, working on getting the OMG series going steadily, and I'm also working on getting the GG series going steadily. GG is going to be things like Yogg, Endless Space, which is a nightmare to edit right now. I'm still working on that, but you will see it in the future. And yeah, that's been probably way more than an episode than I really want to make, probably 30 some odd minutes, if not more. So I will let you guys go, and be sure to keep gaming, have fun, peace out, and I'll see you guys next time on the next episode of the Strangelands server.